There are some unique advantages to using dumbbells to build muscle. We'll talk about these advantages as we go over the best dumbbell exercises you need to build muscle. The first thing to understand is the best exercise for you could be different than someone else, depending on your experience level and how heavy a dumbbells you have to work with. If you train at a gym, you might have up to 120-pound dumbbells available. My home gym goes up to 95 pounds. A lot of sets top out at around 50. This will affect your exercise selection. As we go through the exercises, we'll look at ways to progressively overload the muscle no matter what weighted dumbbells you have. Right now, I've been enjoying heel elevated goblet squats as they allow me to go right ass to grass. We are weaker in this lower position and don't need as heavy a resistance. There was a time if I was to go that low, it would bug my knees. As I've strengthened the muscles around them, it allows me to squat lower, pain-free. This is one way to progressively overload a muscle, by gradually increasing the range of motion. If you only have 50-pound dumbbells to work with, eventually you'll want to go heavier than one dumbbell, as increasing the resistance is the number one way we apply progressive overload. I've shown in other videos how to safely set up and lift in a position a heavy dumbbell for a goblet squat. We do this by setting it first on a bench. The best way to get 2 dumbbells into place is to do a dumbbell clean. This movement starts with a hip hinge and the dumbbells at about knee height. Then you drive your hips forward as you shrug the dumbbells into position. I tend to do a bit of an explosive squat to get the dumbbells into place. And it works, but it makes more sense to do a proper clean. That way you'll be prepared for more advanced movements in the future. Another great way to build muscle on our legs is to train them unilaterally, eliminating any muscle imbalances. It also allows us to work our legs to technical failure with less weight. The Bulgarian split squat is my favorite single leg exercise. If you're new to unilateral leg training, then I wouldn't start there. The best way to begin is with a split squat, and once you become proficient at them, advance to a reverse lunge, and then finally to the Bulgarian split squat. This is another way we progressively overload a muscle, by moving to more and more challenging and complex variations as we advance. We absolutely have to have pull movements in our workouts if we're serious about building muscle. A bent over dumbbell row is an obvious choice. A couple of ways we can increase the intensity is to first hold the dumbbell for a second in the contracted or top position and make sure you're controlling the weight on the way down. This exercise becomes a lot harder when we brace our torso against a bench. I do this 2 ways, either by resting my chest on the back of a bench and rowing with a neutral grip, or lying in a prone position on a bench set roughly at 30 degrees, again rowing with my elbows by my side and palms facing each other in a neutral grip. To better hit your upper back, row in the same position but with your elbows out and away from your body. This hits the rear delts and mid-traps. While we're on the back of the body, let's cover off the rector spinae, glutes, and hamstrings. The Romanian Deadlift is my go-to exercise for the lower body posterior chain. This starts like a dumbbell clean with your hips back while keeping your back in a neutral position. You go down until you feel a stretch in your hamstrings, then drive your hips forward as you raise up. For those with limited weights, or if you want to correct a muscle imbalance, as most of us have one leg that is stronger than the other, I recommend kickstand RDLs. To do this exercise, keep one foot back of the working leg and on your tiptoes. Its only job is to provide stability as you perform the movement, with the glutes and hamstrings of the opposite leg. Moving back to the upper body and our chest, a dumbbell bench press is the best overall chest builder. Even though you're pressing with both sides simultaneously, because the dumbbells are independent of each other, one side won't be able to take over, ensuring even pec development. One of the ways we can progressively overload a muscle is to add another set. So if you're always doing 3 sets of bench press, try adding in a 4th set to give it a fresh stimulus and work it harder. Delts are the largest muscle group on the upper body. We already hit the rear delts with our elbow out row. To target the side and front delts, I recommend a dumbbell shoulder press. I do them with a neutral grip as it's more joint friendly. A challenging variation, and may very well be a better shoulder builder, is the Arnold Press. You start with the dumbbells down and in front at about shoulder height, with your palms facing you. Then, as you press up, you rotate your palms away from you. Simultaneously, the dumbbells will move from in front of you to your side. Then reverse the motion as you lower the dumbbells back down. This covers the best compound exercises to build muscle, but to better understand what muscles you need to emphasize to get big naturally, watch this video next and keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.